Now we'll discuss the last concept of bioreactors or fermenters. That is nothing but different types of culturing system. That's it. Without altering the bioreactors. That means bioreactors or these vessels remain as it is. But how are you going to release the nutrients? That matters. So based on that, we can classify into three types of culturing method. So the first one is batch culture, or it is also called as batch fermentation. Both are same. Fermentation itself. Okay, respiration. The second thing is second type is continuous culture or fermentation. The third one, which is actually the mixture of both. Okay, so that is nothing but fed batch culture, that is continuous as well as batch culture. Okay, so this can also be called as fed culture or continuous culture. That's what fed batch culture. Got it? Okay, so right now, we know that the bioreactor contains a lot of inlets where we can supply all the nutrients required for the growth of this particular heterologous organism. Okay, how are you going to culture this heterologous host organism? In a batch, for example, see, this is actually a container containing the heterologous host organism where it is involved in having the rDNA, that is our gene of interest. Okay, so let us say like I have 100 now. So I'm going to transfer this into a big bioreactor. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is in the initial stage itself. So I have already transferred this H, heterologous host, and then oxygen, nutrients like vitamins, minerals, okay, even the water. So that means the broth is already added in the initial stage itself. Then I'm going to close this. Everything is closed. No more nutrients or oxygen will be added afterwards once it is closed. Done. This is batch culture. Okay. So then I will turn on the motor and the shaft and the impeller rotates, and that is nothing but agitation, and which mixes the culture broth very well, and finally the number of this heterologous organism increases to, let us say, around a lakh. Okay, after that I have to turn off the motor and then I have to open this and then remove all the broth. Then isolation process. Isolation means I have to isolate heterologous organism from the remaining broth. Okay, then after that extraction of the R protein from the heterologous host. So this is closed system. So write down closed system. Okay, done. This is it. Okay, what is the disadvantage of this batch fermentation or batch culture? Only limited number of heterologous host organisms can be produced. Only limited R protein can be produced. Got it? Some restrictions are there. So this is the disadvantage. Why it is disadvantage? Because I cannot supply nutrients once I turn on the motor. Okay, once I initiate this step. That's it. If I provide more nutrients, what's going to happen? The growth of the heterologous organism also increases slowly. Got it? So this is the thing. The next is continuous culture. What is this continuous culture? Very simple, similar, but it is open system. Not like batch culture. Batch culture is closed system. Open system is nothing but I have already have inlets for this bioreactor, and I'm going to supply the nutrients, oxygen, everything continuously. Got it? So that the multiplication rate of the heterologous host organism automatically increases. This is actually the advantage. What is the disadvantage? See, let me just tell you, if you take any organism's multiplication rate, normally it starts with this phase. Lag means slowly it starts to multiply. Lag phase. Why? Because it has to get adapted to or get adjusted to the environment. Got it? The climate. Okay. That is the thing. Once it gets adjusted, then the next stage is log phase. It is also called as exponential phase. Yes, exponential phase. In this phase itself, I have to extract this heterologous organism. What is next stage after exponential phase? That is actually declining phase. Senescence. Got it? So if I stop the motor and then I start extracting in this phase, then it's gone. But the problem in continuous culture is once I start the machine and start supplying all this stuff, okay, it takes time. Got it? It takes time. I may not know where exactly this particular stage has reached for the heterogeneous host organism. That's it, the disadvantage. I cannot remove the heterologous organism directly. Okay, so I don't know. Some will be in its initial phase, some will be in its middle phase, or some will be in this phase. That's it. Got it? So this is it. So this is the difficulty. Other than that, it's good. It's better than this. Okay. The next is fed batch culture. It is the combination of both open system, closed system. So here, for example, first I will go with the batch culture. I will put all the nutrients which is required for the growth of this heterologous organism. Done. Okay. After that, after running the machine for 1 hour, I know that, okay, I feel that, okay, I need to supply more nutrients for facilitating the more rapid growth of that heterologous organism. Now I start supplying the nutrients or oxygen. Got it? So it continues like that. Got it? Okay, so this is actually the combination of both fed batch culture. So this is preferred over this and this. Got it? So this is all about the different types of culture methods used in bioreactors or recombinant DNA technology. That's it. Even in the production of wine or alcohol beverages, obviously the same fermenters or bioreactors are used. It is another application of bioreactors because we know that wine is obviously requires fermentation from a specific type of microorganism. So we need to facilitate the growth of that particular microorganism in a large vessel. That's it, to get more wine done. Thank you.